I thought that I would express what is on my mind at the moment, and it deals with this disconnect in our society, our world. No matter how many times I repeat it, no matter how many times you hear it from others, the ways of the structuring of the system, the infrastructure, it takes people out of their natural rhythm. And mostly we are to blame for it because we're the ones who allow it to be a certain way. I've talked many times about being in an office space, working multiple hours a day, sometimes 8 to 10 hours a day. Now, this is going to cause just a disconnect from the ether, from the trees, from fresh air, clean water. I mean, the place that I work at, they order some water that is contaminated. It's just not good. You can tell it's not good for you. And when you're stuck inside these places, you're not prioritizing breathing in fresh air. And we don't always have fresh air. This could lead to a problem when you don't get these priorities together, when you're simply not connecting yourself with that rhythm. You get what I'm trying to say here. Like, I'm outside, it's a warm day and the sky cleared up, but it's not always like that, and it's out of our control. It was raining earlier. There were clouds all throughout the sky. And yesterday it was much colder. This past week and the weeks before that, very cold. So it completely has an effect on how you're going to operate in a system outside. You can go outside in the cold. There's certain trees that simply will not produce leaves when there's not a high enough temperature, when it's freezing cold. A lot of things are sprayed in the air. A lot of smells, like you can smell certain things in the air that are being sprayed, manufactured, geoengineered. It's not going to sustain that way. Eventually, it'll clear up. But let me get to the most important point I'm trying to express here, is that people choose to be out of alignment. You can blame circumstances all you want, the cold weather, the chemtrails. We know that this stuff is being manufactured to produce a certain climate. But at the end of the day, people got choices they can make. You got things that you can control, and you got things you cannot control. So you better do whatever is necessary to control the things that you're capable of. Now, these chemicals, how many times do I gotta say it? These chemicals that people use, whether it's cleaning supplies, detergent, soaps, perfumes, whatever it is, stuff you put on your skin, it's just not good. And I cannot hold back in saying that this is just a problem. It's a problem systematically. It's a problem when you're talking about the infrastructure. And I can talk about it, but at the end of the day, I can't force people to stop doing this. But when it comes into the environment that I interface with, we all have an interface with our environment. So when certain things happen around you that affect you, that's where it gets more personal. That's where you got to step in, assert whatever you need to assert. You know, you may live a different life than people around you in your environment, but they're having an effect on you simply by existing there. Like when someone gets really sick, for example, and they're coughing, and they want to stay away from you because, you know, they don't want to spread some kind of disease. You know, it kind of relates to that in that, you know, you're going to have an effect on people just around you in general. It's as simple as that. And I get frustrated. I trust me. This is one of the biggest things that I have focused on myself personally, is not getting so furious about what other people are doing, because I can sense it and it has an effect on me to a certain level. If someone is so ignorant and it rubs off on me the wrong way, and I express to them, just stop doing this, it's not good, go a different direction. Learn from whatever you did before so you can improve. And if they don't want to, it can get very frustrating. Some things we cannot control, but when I see ignorance to a high degree, and when people are embodying this ignorance, they're not doing anything about it, that's where it can get irritating. So I've tried my best to just accept it and realize I can't control what they're going to do. A million times out of a million times, I'm not going to be able to control what they do. But do not allow these people to affect you, because we interface with them in our environments, whether we want to or not. There's people we got to deal with. We've gotten pulled into certain karmic situations. We are simply around people, whether we like them or not, whether we want to be around them or not. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to be around these people, because you don't have much of a better choice. You're not going to simply move and do something crazy like move 1,000 miles away just to get away from someone. You might find someone else that you don't like 1,000 miles away. And you wish that these people can just disappear. You wish that they could just not be around you. It doesn't always work like that. But you need to assert yourself and make sure that whatever they're doing is not rubbing off on you the wrong way. And you don't want to disconnect yourself from nature, from the natural rhythm, just because other people are doing that. And I see that as a whole collectively in this world and society, these fast food restaurants and, you know, the choices people make. Like I talk about them working 8 to 10 hours a day. Sometimes you got to do things like that that are not necessarily fun, and you're putting yourself in environments you'd rather not be. But then these same people choose to go out to the bars and drink alcohol, do drugs, whatever the case may be, go to these fast food restaurants, continue to eat processed food. These are the decisions that you are capable of avoiding, but people don't want to avoid it. I'm going to continue to call it out, but I'm not going to be able to force them into a different lifestyle. So I'm here to say it's essential that we connect ourselves with the natural rhythm, to be connected to, you know, all that is elemental. It's called the elements, and people are disconnected from the elements because they're crammed inside these artificial spaces. They're unable to move and stretch out and exercise, and this is what causes health problems, all sorts of problems. So I'm passionate about this, and for those who can relate, I'm telling you, assert yourself, make sure that you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. Do not conform to a certain degree. If you think that, you absolutely don't have to go out to these crammed cities and do the activities that other people are doing, getting drunk or whatever it is. You do things that are actually good, beneficial for you. So I'm passionate about expressing that and stepping into that frequency, because there's just a lot of toxicity being tossed around here in this realm. And there are ways around it. There are ways to benefit from our choices, different choices than what this society does as a whole.